me, I love it because I love community. I love doing shit like this. I love like hearing what other people are up to. That's how I get my ideas. But for me, I'm like, this is a dream come true to be able to just be around these kinds of people. This is literally what I was doing at Little Lunch. Yeah. I was literally hosting events for creators today. Exactly what's going on today is what I was doing. It'd be like business people and creators. Yeah. Legit. Yeah. And then they'd be like, for no reason, the brand canceled my brand deal. And now I have 3 or 4 months where I don't know what the fuck I'm making at all. Yeah. So for a lot of people that come to us now, it's like a stable, somewhat of a stable income. Yeah. And then in the same sense of lonely. Being a creator by yourself sometimes can be really lonely.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
So like we have creators now that are like, dude, I make a fuck ton of money, but I can't stand just doing this all by myself. I want to be around a team. I want to like have a team atmosphere. So if you can find me a team that I can be part of, that I love the brand and love the product, I would love to go and do this.
Well, so essentially, like, so then they get hired essentially by their brand to kind of essentially be their brand's person in a way. Yes. But then they get that experience, and then it looks like you're marketing those creators that are making 100 to 200 a year. Well, I describe them as like the middle class creator.
Yes.
And they're the ones that are still figuring it out and can't quite have the full team just yet. But if they work with a brand, then so that brand can help sort of provide a team. I guess you could also find them that team as well.
Yes. Exactly.
Dude, I like that.
Yes, exactly. And so, and we don't manage them. Yeah. We literally just take a finder's fee for if the brand hires them as an employee. Yeah. So it's like we're just really trying to help the creators. We want to help you make as much money as possible, do the thing that you love, and help the brand tell their story.
Well, most creators do not know how to run a business. They don't know how to make money. They can make a great video, and then they go, "Wait, why didn't this make any money?" Yes. That's you helping them tell them how to make money.
And I think a lot of people like go through especially ones that build an audience, they go through, okay, now I built an audience, now I want to build a brand, but then, dude, being an entrepreneur is fucking hard. Oh, yeah. Building a product is hard, managing a team is hard, and so I think a lot of them go through that process and even try and launch something, but then realize, fuck, this is really fucking hard. If I can just make videos and that's the only thing I have to do, I would love to do that, and so they come back to us, and they're like, can you find me a job? So, yeah, it's been cool.
Most creatives weren't made to be managers. Most creators weren't really made to be a boss.
Exactly.
Or I've seen this, they've been bossed around so much and they've had such a shit time, they don't know how to actually be a boss as well. And so I think so many brands like to go for like the 1%, so like to go for the Airax and the Mr. Beasts. Yeah. And then Mr.
It's the next tier down. Yeah. It's the next tier down.
Yeah. They might not be as famous, but they could probably have also, they probably have a niche audience, they could have a much better direct attachment to their audience.
Yep. All of the ones that are like top 0.1, I think they'll build their own business, they'll be able to do it, and they don't ever need to go and run a brands account. But the next tier down, that is like they'll try, they'll realize whether through financial or interest or whatever, they're like, I just want to make content. Yeah. And that's the kind of future creative director in a brand. That's the future social media manager in a brand. It's like all these different roles that I think will get filled with creators.
How about then, because the internet is so big now, and there's so many different niches, how are you keeping track of like essentially creating like a database of all these middle class creators? Yeah. Because the risk is, depending on if you hyper focus on something, the algorithm traps you in there. Mm-hmm. How are you able to keep track of everything else that's outside of your algorithm?
Really good question. It's just literally our team spending so much time in the broad creator world. Yeah. And then we go and look for specifics of the brand. So like some brand comes to us and is like, we need moms in middle America. We'll spend a month going and finding this list of moms in middle America. We'll have this list that now will be like vetted by us. So it's like the top 1% that's moms in middle America. Yeah. If a brand comes to us 3 months later, we'll go look at that list and be like, are they still relevant? Are they still working? If not, we'll refresh that list. So, dude, it literally is just a constant game of us staying in the world.
Yeah. So you generally have someone's job is to constantly retrain the algorithm. Yes. I bet when they go home, when they get home, it's like they're getting middle-aged mom stuff. No, I want my TikTok.
No, back. Dude, one of the people is doing it through my account, so they're like going and searching. Literally example, like health and wellness registered dietitians. Yeah. And then I go and look at and I'm like, I can't see any sports anymore. It's just dietitians on my For You page. Because they're going and searching for it. So, yes. See you this week.
Are you recording?
We're recording. You're on camera right now. Okay, let's start with the first one.
Hi, my name is Andrea Casanova. I'm a creatorpreneur, and I'm here with my friend JT. We were doing some interviews for my new tech company at Ginger for Creators, and I asked him all about how content changed his life and also what creators can do to go from their first $50 to their first $1,000. So, thank you,
Andrea is
JT.
an OG TikTok friend from like 2020.
Yeah, literally. OG, I've seen the whole journey, and he's seen my journey, and it's just been a very supportive friendship. So, really grateful, and you guys are in good hands. Hell yeah. What has content done for your life? And I'm just going to hold it like this.
Okay, you want to hold it? Mm-hmm. Hi guys, I'm JT. What has content done for my life? Well, I retired from pro hockey with $0 in my bank account, no jobs lined up, and really no clue what I was going to do as a career. But just from me posting on social media, it really started my whole new life. I was able to meet new people. I got into the marketing industry and really have been able to build my whole new business just by making videos. You need to start, you should start today.
I love that. That's amazing. I love that answer. And then how can a creator go from making $50 for a post or $50 in their creatorpreneur business to making their first 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 onwards?
To make more money, the companies are coming to you for your community. So really the focus for every creator when they're starting should be, how can I build the most lethal community that just love everything that I'm sharing with them and really trusts in me? So if you're looking for more money, follow trust.
That's a great answer. Hell
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. What's
of course.
your at and where can people follow you?
My ad is JT Barnett, and you can follow me on every social at JT Barnett.
Slay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. That was wonderful.
You're
Thanks
so welcome.
Much. I'm excited.
Let me see this thing now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And it's a hairband that ties it together at the bottom.
Did you do that, or is this like it came to this?
Very
cool. I feel like I've also seen that these can be magnetic. That you can like put one on it that like actually can be magnetic too.
Or suction ones that I can put right here.
Because it has different attachments. Like
yeah, at the bottom. Mm-hmm. This is the creator.
Like this is the attachment right now.
Yeah, that's an attachment.
So this is a battery pack, and then you can also remove
Oh
it.
wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of.
Wait, so this thing's this big?
Yeah,
Just this?
Look.
Yeah, all the bottom pieces are all different attachments. That's it.
This is
Oh,
just the
damn.
awesome. This is just the extra battery, so it doesn't.
Damn, that's small.
You
I've been
can
doing my
perfect,
my vlogs right now literally by going and like finding a windowsill and like setting it up like this.
Yep.
And just trying to find angles like that.
Our product is feel free. We are an all natural, plant-based, I would say supplement company. We've only been a brand for 4 years, so that's pretty impressive. And we continue to try to get our brand awareness out there. So a lot of the things this team is doing now is trying to get content creators to do it authentically, right? Making our content more lifestyle focused, not really selling. We don't do UGC. We used to, but we don't do it anymore. We're really focused on doing more activations, but the overall goal for us is to continue building brand awareness for the brand and being known as a premium gold standard responsible brand as we move forward.
Really cool. Okay, would it be helpful to give you guys some context on us?
Please do. Yes, we'd love to hear it.
Cool. So JT, founder of the company, started as a consultant teaching brands organic social media. First brand was Poppy. Had a lot of success with Poppy. Sat with the founder, helping her literally write out scripts that ended up being like real successful for her. She made a bunch of intros to other founder friends. I kind of carved out a little bit of like a consulting agency around organic social. I was a creator myself. That's how I got into it. Still am a creator. And from spending time with a lot of those different brands, I started realizing a lot of these companies actually need people internal, like embedded within the company that know how to make, because they have great ideas, but to go and actually execute on those ideas is usually a different person. So started making videos myself to my audience, seeing if there's anybody out there that wanted to actually go and do that for a brand, and became really surprised that there was a ton of creators that actually like were really interested in that role. Creators deal with a lot of ups and downs. Brand deals are not necessarily the most sustainable line of income, particularly if you're not like in the top 0.001% of creators. So it just became really clear to me that dang, a lot of my friends actually really want to do this for brands. And this is like the biggest need for the companies that I'm sitting and spending time with, is somebody that can go and make these videos. So I live in Los Angeles. I started hosting events in Los Angeles, and I became basically like a matchmaker, introducing brands to creators. Like literally, like I was like a Hinge of 2021 for creators and brands. So would have a founder there, have a creator there, be like, this person makes content in your industry, you guys should chat. They would hire them as a 1099 to make content for the brand account. And I just started seeing a ton of success. So that became the company that I wanted to start. That is now CreatorX. We are looked at basically as like a modern day recruiting firm. We work very traditionally like a recruiting firm. We do the full scope of recruiting, and we're trying to find a creator to come and make content for the brand account. Some companies use us kind of like in a hybrid of, we want creators to make content for our brand account, but also for their personal account. Collab posts on Instagram and TikTok are a big thing right now. So being able to leverage the creators' accounts is something that brands are looking to do too. So we can find that as well. But we do the full thing from the initial strategy of who you're looking for all the way to onboarding them within the company. On this call with me is Damien, who runs all of the actual projects of the recruiting. He is responsible for hundreds of millions of views in the last year with brands, and he's the one that is actually like really close to the talent. And right now we have this database, we curate talent. So we have this database that's vetted talent that comes through my content. But we also go out and do manual outreach depending on the specifics of the people that you're looking for. If there literally is a creator in the world that creates around what you're looking for, we can find them, as specific as like 55-year-old mom in Greenville that's a registered dietitian, all the way to, you know, Los Angeles health and wellness 22-year-old female. So as specific as it gets. And yeah, really excited to chat. Happy to answer any questions about all of the above. Was it an agency? So like the one that you were talking about, is it an agency that you're having use their own kind of creators that they manage?
It is an agency, but I don't think they manage the creators. I think it's more of like a platform where they just have creators on their platform that they pulled from. And like, I think all they did was sample them basically and show them the brief. Like, I don't think it was much of a conversation. So
did you guys like the relationship where you're actually like, really in contact with the creator, or do you want it to be somebody else is managing them and you guys have nothing to do with it and you're just trusting in it?
from a bandwidth perspective, I feel like we'd like the latter, but unfortunately, with how strict our leadership is with what the content looks like, it kind of requires our conversations.
Tell me more about that. Like how strict? Because we're working with companies like Microsoft that have like 9 rounds of revisions. Where do you guys fall on the on that kind of spectrum?
I feel like once
around like 2 to 3 revisions, max is for us. We want to step away, but when we see that stuff's not coming through properly, it ends up we end doing even more work.
Yeah.
Personally, I haven't seen it, and I know leadership hasn't seen it. That we've found that kind of creator can do it authentically, really showcasing the story versus the selling.
I have a question around creator dream scenario. The way that we kind of look at it when we're recruiting is there's 2 different kinds of creators. There's like a brand creator and then there's a performance creator. I know those are ad terms, but I want to speak to it in an organic sense. The challenge with those creators, what they're going to do is they're going to look incredible on the page. They're going to appeal to your demo. They're going to fit the brand. They'll do the content that you're looking for example, lifestyle-based type of things. The challenge is most of those creators have never had performance. So I've never had a video that's actually got traction organically, have never built their own brand, built their own audience. And so you're going to get the look that you're wanting, but the challenge is just it might not be seen by the people that you want. It might not actually perform on your own account. That's the difference between that and a creator that's a performance creator, which is all of the things that I just said, plus they've actually had performance with it on their own account. So when you go on their account, you're seeing that they have an actual community, they have comments, they have engagement, so that when you hire them on your own account, you know that it's less of a guessing game it's less of them learning on your dime. They're coming in and they've done it before. we have brands that come to us for both. We have brands that are like, look, we don't have any KPIs this year in terms of performance. We just want our aesthetic to look really good, people to resonate when they see it, and we don't really need to bring in a creator that's really hit. Then we have brands that are like, no, we're getting judged on views and engagement. So do either of those matter to you guys? Are you skewing one way or the other?
Are we able to then, because I can take an organic video that might not be so performance driven and like make it performance driven with like different copy overlay or different putting the feel free logo at the start. So like if we're able to use those videos in any way possible
You own
and use
all of them. You own 100% of it. You can chop it up forever. Yeah. You could chop it up for a week. You could, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so like these people become embedded in your team. You can have we have brands that are like, this creator is gonna run the entire account. We don't even want to hear from them. We just want reports every month. We have brands that are like, no, this needs to go through 3 different approvals. We want them in a Zoom meeting every Monday. We want, like, totally up to you, as hands-on or as hands-off. The creators that we're finding though are like very legitimized in the sense of they're self-managed. So we're trying to find people that are that you're handing things off to somebody that is an expert rather than handing it off and it being like they're just like barely getting the job done, or it's even a step down at worst. Let me show you something really quickly. So these are some of the brands that we've done this for recently, but let me just give you an example. Just to answer your last question that you were just saying, we send you a list like this. This list has about 25 people on it. You would see the rate that they're looking for. And even though you're looking for one creator, you can hire all 25 of these people for the same recruiting fee that you would pay us if you hired one. So we have companies that come to us that are like, hey, we want to build a content army. We don't just want one person, we want 6 people. Awesome, we can find you 6 people. We have brands that are, the typical thing is we want somebody that's kind of like face to the camera. Some brands come to us and they're like, we don't even want a person that's face to camera. We want them filming our founder or filming our team. We can find that too. But like what you would end up getting is 25 people that have been vetted by us. We want to find you guys what you guys want. So if you guys are like, we need 5, awesome. We can do that too. Awesome.
Mary, I'll send over a follow-up with all of our one-pager, just pricing process. And then I'll send over some case studies specific to semi in your guys' network, whether it's CPG. We have some brands like Hop Water, which is like a nootropic water can. You guys can look at these creators' personal brand and then the videos they're making on the brand page. And then you guys can see the ballpark of what they're getting paid as well.
Okay. Yeah, that all sounds great.
If you guys want to send over your address too, we can totally send you some samples of the product as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks,
That was a good one. There's some things in there.
That was
little tidbits.
First one.
That was an intro. That was first call. First call with them.
What's your where's your headspace? Like, what are you trying to do in these like intro sales calls?
Help them understand how we can help them. Like in the intro calls, it's usually me wanting to see like, what are your pain points? What are you guys struggling with? What are you guys struggling with that we can help with? A lot of them will have like a sheet. We try to send them a sheet before that like walks through what we're doing. And then in the call, it's really just like really getting clear on what do you not know about us? Where are you at? And is there a chance that what we're doing is like actually the thing that's right for you? And if it's not, I'll point you in the right direction. But if it is, let's get it going.
They mentioned something that Adam also mentioned is like not cracking that organic. Like they're like, we haven't cracked that like organic side. Why do you think that is?
They don't have the right people in the seats. Organic is not easy right now. You need to have real people, real talent making organic for it to perform, or else it just ends up looking nice but doesn't actually perform at all.
Yeah, February is looking good. We're heads down with finalizing some talent lists from January. So we'll be reviewing with 2 brands this month on their top 20, how they want to split up that list, how many creators they want to work with, in what avenue, whether it's that bullseye face of the brand model, Maybe it's alternative creative for paid ads, UGC, you name it. But finding creators' homes from that list, we'll see where we end up. But ton of talent came in, so concising and packing that into the most legit 20 to 40 has been just vetting that talent and then starting manual outreach for some of these new searches.
Is that kind of like what takes most of your time, is just that manual side?
Yeah, I would say a chunk of my time once we're kicking off with brands is talking to the talent, explaining the role. This is what they're looking for. I think you'd crush this because XYZ. They're looking for this type of specific content style. And it's kind of just playing that matchmaker role in my head of, hey, this creator, this style, this brand, boom.
Cool. In the next 3 months, what kind of is top of mind? What are you most excited for to focus on?
I would say one is I'm excited to see some of these creators we've placed in-house with brands in December, January, see how those case studies are kind of being built in real time. So being able to see that creative get onto the brand page from these creators and ideally have some performance as well. Super stoked to see where that creative falls. And then other than that is more brands, more homes for creators.
Yeah. Do you guys do case studies of like old previous and like kind of like check-ins, like let's say for November creators in like let's say February, or is it just you just never really have the time to check in with those because you're always looking for the new ones?
Yeah, I think checking in on one, the creator for sure, making sure they're enjoying the process, and then two, checking with the brand as well, because we give them this final selects list of 20 creators. So some brands are like, hey, we actually want to switch out and try a different style or a different pillar of content next quarter. So it's just good to check in periodically to see one, what's being posted on their page. Are they posting the same type of content? Are they using different creators? But yeah.
Double mic'd up today. Bro, can you hear me?
Yo.
What up, bro?
Yeah.
I really just wanted to hear what's good in your world. Like what's up right now? What's like the things that have been really fun? I love what you guys are doing with now brand fathers.
Thank you.
Love all of that. It's been cool. It's been cool to just see the rise of like you jumping into your own personal after doing what you did for so long. Yeah. And I just wanted to just say what up. I also on that same note, love the shit that you talk about being a dad and like so aligned. I'm not a dad yet, but so on the same wave of that. So fucking pumped for that moment when that does happen. One of my best friends just got his baby was just born like a week ago. So seeing that whole process has been so cool. Really excited for that for me. I think I still have like another year or two before we have kids, but really excited for that and love seeing other people like you that are doing really dope shit in the business world also be like, yo, this is my game. And like this other part is like my backbone or like my foundation. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course.
This is a week where all of my worlds are like colliding and it's a bit much if I'm honest, but it's all good things. Like I'm just like overwhelmed with blessings in a lot of way. And
tell me the other things. What are the other things that you're up to? So you're doing personal. It looks like you're going and speaking places. What's the other shit that's like the main focus?
It sort of varies. Like all of it has kind of shifted in the last, I'd say year or so. I spent the first like 18 months doing a lot of like colleges and focusing on athletes and whatnot. And then the more I started to do content openly about just companies and what makes good marketing, now I get flooded with like requests and opportunities from corporate marketing teams, VPs, CMOs, marketing leaders who are like, hey, will you come talk to my team? They need some inspiration, or we need some outside thinking. And so it's like this really weird world. I mean, I'm grateful for it. And in a lot of ways, you, me, Ashwin, Oren are all this kind of new hybrid creator who like the thing I think that separates us in some ways, like we actually do shit. We don't just like talk on the internet about things, right? And so like that is a great thing because then it just like it generates business. We're kind of this new thing that didn't really exist. I'm not just a consultant. I can also then do content for you that can actually get seen by a ton of people by highlighting your brand or your thing or your campaign. And then I can also like speak to your team. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking.
What's the how does it feel being solo, doing your own thing versus being in a corporation?
It's amazing. I mean, right now, hindsight's 2020. Early days are tough, and still right now, like man, I'm like in between. Like I've stopped and start with some of this stuff. Like I've had an executive assistant a couple times. Like one fell out, one was having a baby, one got a full-time job. Like so, I'm like, I need an executive assistant. I don't quite need a full-time employee, but like, I need like, I really am starting to think about like, I need an employee potentially who could like be a little bit of assistant, a little bit of a marketing person who could write a little bit of proposal or like get some of my work started.
Mm-hmm.
I can finish it. And then I've toyed back and forth with like hiring videographers and editors. Have debated on like bringing on somebody full time. Just not quite there. So I'm in this kind of weird place, which I'm sure you've been. But I would say overall, amazing.
Good.
I did the corporate thing. I'm so glad I did it. It taught me so much. I'm so grateful for that time. I'm smarter, better. I could never do what I'm doing right now without it. So I've really enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
What's going on in your world?
Dude, the from the consulting that I was doing with brands, spun out this whole different company called CreatorX.
So y'all are matching creators with corporations?
Yeah, so like the way that I look at it is like I think that the social media manager role is creator first now. We actually do two different roles that we recruit for. One is like just pure creator. Brand already has a social media person that's pressing post and managing community, but they need like real talent making videos. So we go and find them like real talent that will make content on the brand account and hand it off to the team. And we go and find it, and it's like as specific as the brand needs. So wherever in the world, if they need them in office with whatever budget, it's like a typical recruiting firm. Very specific, like a headhunter for CEOs, CMOs. And then the second role is this like creator for social media manager, but they have no idea how to actually create community. And we need a social media manager. We need somebody that can do the whole thing, but lean 80% content, 20% community. And so those are the two roles that we go and find. We curate, so we have a database of these creators and talent that we're like constantly curating and vetting. We are only trying to find top 1% talent. So we're not like a UGC agency. We're not trying to have like a million creators in our database. We want it to be super selective, really high quality, and so that's been like my main focus for the last year. Like when I think about 1%, like if I think about 0.1% of creators are like they've built a business through their account and they have no interest in doing anything else because they're an entrepreneur and they want to run their own business and they want to live only off of that, and their community is strong enough to do that. But like that's so few.
Yeah, we're talking about Mr. Beast, Jake Paul,
even like
Alex Earl.
Even like a little bit smaller than that. Like my wife has been able to do that. The next tier beneath that's like I would even say like the 1% are people that are like really doing brand deals, but just like they have like 3 months where their brand deals are super serious, and then they have 3 months where it's like, yo, it's changed, and I want to be making more, and I want to do content only as my business. And so most of the people that we end up placing that are like real talent it's not just like they're just an employee. This isn't the only thing they're doing. They do both. They are a creator on their own account doing brand deals, probably making like, on their personal brands, they're probably making around $100,000 doing brand deals, but they're like, this isn't what I want. I want more, and I want to go and do this for a company. And those are the two things I'm going to do. And
super interesting.
Yeah.
So how many you like place it? Like, so what is that the main part of your business, or like what is?
That's the main part, and then the second part is we do consulting. We have brands that like have creators already and are like, can you oversee? Can you give us tips? Can you even same kind of thing? Can you invigorate our brand? So we don't do long-term contracts. Sometimes it's just a month. Sometimes it's 3 months, but we'll do ongoing consulting with companies as well. But the like real main focus that I'm pushing is the recruiting.
Fascinating. So like how many are you placing a month, or like how many are you wanting? I mean, I'm sure.
We're trying to place 100 this year. Last month we placed 12. We're trying to place 100 this year.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun.
That's super smart. That's a smart business, and you're in the perfect place for it.
Yeah, it literally fell into my lap. It literally was me sitting with a founder being like, dude, every time I leave here, you hit me up asking me how to film this. I can't come back and do this every day. Yeah. And then being like, well, do you have anybody that would want to be on our team? And me being like, fuck, like where do I can't go on Indeed. I can't tell them to go on Upwork. They can't go on LinkedIn to find a creator. Like you got to be really in the weeds on social to know where these people live and where they are and what they're looking for. And so it just kind of fell in my lap. But I'm really happy because I love it.
To give yourself a little more credit, because I have to think about it. I mean, you live, eat, breathes this stuff every day, so it feels like it fell in your lap, but like you put in all the work, you take meetings like that, you help people like
yes, exactly.
I think about that, like part of the hard part of like consulting, I think, and like knowing your worth and all that stuff that's been interesting for me is over time, and even honestly, like doing content on social is like been this weird feedback loop where my content is like pretty niche, like it's decently wide, but like not like so like whereas maybe I think Oren like can touch many verticals, like he can do like pots and pans, he can do luxury, he can do whatever, so he got a bit of a wider net. But his is a great example too. I've found like the talking head stuff has a cap on like audience quantity, but the quality is wild. And I get stopped on the street now all the time, from strangers, and people like, oh my gosh, dude, your stuff is amazing. Like you've helped me. And I try to screenshot all the messages because we always focus on the negative ones, but like I get so many DMs every day. People are like, I've learned so much from you. I started my business from you. Like I got into Nike because of you. Like I got your portfolio helped me get this thing. And it's like, I think the depth of connection for this thing has been amazing. And it's just been growing, brick by brick. And I've never had the like 100,000 followers in a week, not like exploding, but it just like keeps growing, and it's been interesting to see. That's what I tell people, and like I've started putting like a pitch and like and stuff about the brand fathers. Like we have CMOs, chief brand officers, VPs, directors of marketing, like that. So my audience is aspiring and established marketers who love sports. Is how I describe it.
Cool.
And I think for the brand fathers, it's like aspiring and established marketers, it just becomes such a small world, like so quick too. And I've been really start and stop with YouTube. Actually, I'd be curious, what has your experience with YouTube been? Like, in fact, I started seeing your stuff last year and I was like, damn it. All right. I just need to do some of this. And, but I don't know. Have you been pushing it lately?
Yeah. Like we're posting every week, but like slow and steady. I personally, I have somebody that helps me. I personally am focused more on short form. But really enjoy like being able to put things out there in a long format to like show the behind the scenes of everything. So I have enjoyed it a lot. Love being able to catch up with you, and really just love everything you're doing.
Likewise, bro. Keep up the good work. Here, let me screenshot. Smile. All right. Keep up the good work, man.
You too, bro. We'll stay in touch. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Later.
Bye. Yo.
What up?
Yo, what's up, man?
I'm about to talk to somebody that's very high up at a very well-known agency that's been in the social media world for 10 plus years doing really cool things. He's a dude that I talk to periodically that I just catch up with and hear like what's good in his, kind of like what's interesting. What's interesting to you? What are you focused on? I look at myself as somebody that leans very early adopter on and like innovator on the spectrum of like testing things right when they come into the world versus like being kind of late to it. I like being like cutting edge. He is also somebody that likes being cutting edge. So usually when we talk, whether I'm either here or I go, he lives in New York, whether I go visit him in New York, I usually just kind of ask him, what are you guys trying? What are you finding fascinating? Tell him updates on our business and what we're really focused on. And he kind of points different things in the direction that he sees. And it's just something that I get good takeaways from. So I'm excited to chat with him.
Yo, what's up, man?
What up, brother?
See you. What's up, Damien? How you doing, man? You guys both look good, man.
What's been the fun focus as of beginning of 2025?
A couple of our bigger opportunities this year, and they just both kicked off, are about helping Fortune 5 internal brands re-gut their like creative production arms, because they were built with like a classic strategy approach.
Yep.
They were built to be like we call left side of the flywheel, very like top down, subjective versus consumer up, and moving with the features and formats and speaking the slang and be culturally relevant, like volume of content defined right. They made right versus found right. So it's like the infrastructure to do making right is very different than finding right.
Yeah.
So we've been doing that. That's been exciting. We're meeting with, we're kicking one off with their leadership team tomorrow in Long Island City. We have a big production studio, so there's that stuff.
What is what's the current way that you guys are looking at live commerce? Are you guys doing anything with any of your guys' brands?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
So we're nailing down some nuanced terms with TikTok, right? So like TikTok's terms out the box are terrible on TikTok shops. For example, as a merchant, you have to defer and satisfy whatever TikTok says is a return, even if it's not a good return. You have to take product back after 28 days. There's all kinds of like funky stuff around just the way to work with TikTok on TikTok shops that's just not amenable to Fortune 5 brands. Not to say Fortune 5 brands are the ones that need to be there. But anything from, and that's why a majority of them are like Temu sellers, low risk treadmills, like ice machines, shit like that. Chargers, batteries,
Because of the
like, yeah, it's very low friction, right? It's like most of that is same products just rebranded. Mm-hmm. So it's like you find it's almost like merchandise, right? You find a producer, very high quality, very low minimum order quantity, so MOQs. They put your branding on it. You just spin up a company, you sell it. If it sucks, you shut it down, spin up another company, same product, new logo, and you just kind of go at it. So, but there's no doubt that the consumers on TikTok are converting. So like the most important thing is they're likely doing a lot of the upfront grunt work to condition consumers to start getting ready for live shopping. So one, we are getting some of those terms in place. They're finally getting to a place where they're a little bit more stable. Whatnot's a live stream platform, more like in collectibles,
yep.
Trading cards, etc., because they have like different multi-camera angles for breaks and things like that. So he's very into that. 3, we have brands as a result of both that are like leaning pretty in. I'm very close with Brian over at Talk Shop Live. I've known him for many, many years. That's, I'd say, like the most classic QVC version of like the digital things that are out there. He's got like Jamie Foxx as a spokesperson, Justin Bieber as a spokesperson. And so like that's the other area. And then on like other platforms, YouTube, Instagram, X, all that stuff, it's like I suspect YouTube will launch some version of this pretty soon. Instagram, I suspect, will have to as well, but Instagram deprecated their live shopping stuff a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. So I think there is like a market readiness kind of smell in the air, but still very, very like first inning to the lay.
Yep. Totally understand. Think similarly. You feel? Do you
I
feel?
will say, JT, one build I would have for you is, my sense goes to like my take is TikTok is like TikTok is such a means to an end company that right now, like you are as a creator on Shops, you may still go from zero to let's call it 50,000 in a very short period of time now in followers, where before it was zero to 500,000. So maybe you're, an order of magnitude less than the pace and growth that you would have gotten. But TikTok is still very comfortable making creators pop off. And I think majority of the world is still fixated on like anyone can become a TikTok shop creator and make a buck. But my sense is all of that is really just to build TikTok's graph for who actually cares about potentially purchasing a product, and if yes, what kind. So what I mean by that is like Instagram's had 14 years to build their graph. Like their signal graph is like some of the tightest graph that exists. Like there's JT Barnett, there's Damian Torres, and then there is the ID behind the scenes of like how they make money off of us. And that thing is like 1,000 columns long. What TikTok has is none of that stuff, which is why I believe the volume of shoppable content we've seen that's so varied is so high because they're trying to buy that. So they're funding all of the TikTok shops. They're allowing creators to get massive distribution, things that have he or she may have a likable trait. Like, how does that affect conversion? Will Peter Chun watch this battery company longer because the color is pink versus black? Like, I think they're using all of the shopping and feed to get a better handle of me times 150 million, my purchase intent and interest based on what's happening TikTok. So at some point, once they capture that data, it's going to switch, and these creators will go from 0 to 500 followers in 5 months versus 0 to 50,000 versus 0 to 500,000. And so I do think the angle for you, if I would explore, if I'm you, because of your CreatorX business, is like we may now then very quickly pivot to the host game. Who is a good host who can actually convert product, and it'd be less on like the frequency of a person in your feed versus the raw talent of someone as a host being able to move product. So I feel like we're moving into that era of TikTok's like sophistication. Like they launched live shopping 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Nick Tran launched it, right? As like they did some like pop-up t-shirt with Walmart, and it was like set up to succeed. But I think there is something there around curating hosts that can be the person that covers, like, think of it as traditionally like the MTV news person would do sports, entertainment, live events. You know what I mean? It's like if they're a likable person, that is what I believe is going to be some of the IP that comes in the near term. And as you think about your talent roster, you may want to think about hedging that a little bit with one or two of them that you think would be great at this, just so you have the optionality of like staying connected to them.
Yeah. Love that. Do you feel like companies in the future will hire individuals as hosts?
Yeah.
Is that how it's happening right now in overseas in China? Like, are brands having individual talent as part of the company that are running the hosts, running the channels?
Yeah, but there are people that are known to be the sellers. It's like there's that woman who's notoriously famous, and it's literally like she sells 10,000 products a minute. It's like, and like when you zoom out, all you see is this. But when you zoom out, there's 50 people lined up that are like hand in, boom, right? It's like, oh, and it's literally like the setup around her to be a sales utility is pretty sharp. I think the rub will be around people believing the spokesperson owned by the brand versus the spokesperson who's just like same thing as a creator. Do I trust you as a creator because you're getting paid, or do I trust you as a creator because of your taste, and that taste itself is what's allowing you to get paid?
Yep. Dude, so interesting. All right, brother.
All right, brother.
Say hello to everyone.
I'll talk to you soon. I will.
Thanks,
Bye,
Peter.
Damien.
Good one as well. Live shopping. I think live shopping is going to be something that's really intriguing to spend more time in. Still think it's really early. I still think that companies and people, if you're in a room, I would say 8 out of 10 people don't know what it is. So I still feel like it's really early on that. I do feel like live shopping in 2026 will be more of a thing. It's just going to take a couple of like really big stories of brands doing it really well and people buying a shit ton for it to actually become a normal thing. But right now my focus is not like really heavy there, just because nobody around me is really focused on that yet, and that's usually how I get into things.
Like the live shopping, do you see that as like a creator? Like how what type of like characteristic? Like that's not really a traditional type of creator. Like what's kind of the
Yeah, so it's a good question. The thing that's going to differentiate people with AI and fake influencers and on live shopping, it's going to be, can you get the audience to trust you? Can you get the audience to trust you? That's going to be the thing that nobody can outsource, that nobody can fake, because the reason why social media in general performs so much higher in terms of people buying products is because it's been easier to trust an individual on social media than it has been to trust a commercial on the TV. So that's going to keep going on. And when people are actually shopping live, that's going to be the same thing of, do I actually trust this person that's selling this, that they're talking about it and reviewing it in a way that I can feel intuitively I trust them, which makes me then be like, okay, if I actually believe this and trust this, that will make me want to buy it. So then I should buy this right now because it's on a discount. So trust is still going to be the thing that people are trading on. For us, that will be, can we get creators that have, I still think it's the same thing. Because we have creators that have built audiences through that same trust, they know how to get trust with the person on the other side of the screen. So that's the same thing, whether it's a video that they've filmed and they're talking to the person or filming the video for the person, or whether that's live and they're looking into a camera and they're talking to the person. It's the same skill. Can you talk and get the person on the other side of the screen to actually believe that you know what you're saying and are caring and believing about what you're talking about? So feel pretty good about that for us too. But we'll see what happens with that. That's still down the road. But trust, if you're a creator out there, keep building trust. I just think we're in a really good spot. I think where we are right now, what we're doing for brands, the quality of the people that we're finding, I just think we're in a really, really good spot. We're in a really good spot.